Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing assignment 6, which is rearranging equations. So after I do a sample problem, you're going to do a practice question or two based on what we just did on the slide. So basically we're using inverse operations. So our first example is something you might have seen in science class, density equals mass over volume. So that is the formula. They tell you that the volume is 10 and the density is 8. We can plug in 8 for density and 10 for volume, and then we get that equation. So if my goal is to solve for the mass, I want to get m by itself. Right now it's being divided by 10. The opposite of dividing by 10 is multiplying by 10. So these 10s cancel out, and I have m left over on the right side. I bring that down, and 10 times 8 would be 80. So if I wanted to do the same exact thing, but I don't have any numbers, we're going to follow the same process. So I want to get m by itself. Right now, m is being divided by v. What's the opposite of dividing by v? Well, that would be multiplying by v. So I multiply both sides by v, cancel out in the same way. Although on the left side now, I can't actually do any math here with v and d because they're just letters. I don't have any numbers for them. So I just bring that down and I bring down m. So we're going to try the same thing again. This mentions Boyle's law. You only need to know how to use inverse operations. No science involved. So I want to get P2 by itself, which is right here. I just took this and rewrote it. The only thing next to P2 is V2, and right in the middle, I can't see it, but I know that there's multiplication. The opposite of multiplying by V2 is dividing by V2. Those cancel out. I bring down everything that I didn't touch, and I am left with my final answer. We just look carefully at our choices, and we can see that that is choice 3. Okay, for this one, I have a more complicated equation. There's a lot going on here. I want to get r by itself. There's a lot near r. My goal is to undo everything that's happening. So I rewrite it so I got plenty of room to work. So first thing I see that we have pi and h next to r. I don't see any operations in between, so I can assume multiplication. The opposite of multiplying by pi and h is dividing by pi and h. Whatever I do on one side, I have to do the exact same thing on the other. Now I have h divided by h and pi divided by pi. When I have two things divided by themselves, I just cross those two things out and they are gone. The only thing left over on the right side is my 1/2 r squared. And then the left side, I just took this and brought it down exactly how it is. I want to get rid of that fraction. I'm going to flip that fraction. Here's how I do that. I take 2, start it from the bottom. Now we're here, bring it to the top, and 1 starts from the top, goes to the bottom. So I'm going to bring this down now with 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom, and the fraction is now gone. I just bring down r squared. I want to do the opposite of squared. The opposite of squared is square root. So square and square root cancel each other out. So the red part cancels out. I'm just left with r, and my final answer would be this whole bunch of letters. Okay, let's try one more. All right, I have, again, a whole bunch of letters here. It says express B1. There it is, B1. I have to undo everything around it. I can't actually go inside the parentheses yet. I'm going to start with the 1/2 h. The easiest thing to do would be to get rid of that h. In between the h and the parentheses is multiplication. The opposite of multiplying by h is dividing by h. H divided by itself is going to cancel out. On the left side, I have a over h, bring that down, and I just have my fraction and my parentheses on the right side. So that comes down like that. To get rid of fractions, you just flip the fraction. 2 goes to the top, 1 goes to the bottom. Bring that down. I need to get rid of plus b2. The opposite of plus b2 is minus b2. So I cancel out my opposites, and that is what I am left with. And that's how you rearrange equations. Good luck on the practice problems. Bye.